What up, Ninja Clan, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, the Atomic Ninja G, and today I want to talk to you guys in this video about my experience at set championships for Disney Lorcanas into the Inklands. That's right. If you follow us on social media, you should have seen a post or two about my making a deck and signing up and all that kind of stuff for set championships. Now, this set championship was super cool because you were able to win these super cool prizes. So when we arrived, we were given a form to fill in about our decks. So we had to write down all the names of the cards in our deck and how many were in the deck, that kind of stuff. We had to give our decks names, which if you guys watch our gameplay videos here on YouTube, you will know that we always name our decks. But for some reason, my brain just went totally blank. And I was sitting there for ages being like, what do I call this deck? So then we all played 4 games each. And each game consisted of a best of 3 format, right? So if you won 2 games, you wouldn't have to play a third because there's a clear winner. But if you lost one or drew one, then you would go to a third game to get that clear outcome. Every game had a time limit of 50 minutes. And I'm pretty sure only one game went over time. I'm not really sure what they did after that. I think it was a case of, I think they decided it was a draw in the end. I'm not really sure because it was on a totally different table to me. But the guy came over who was running the event and they kind of sorted it out. I'm not really sure what happened there. After that, the top 4 players would then go into their games to determine who came first, second, third, and fourth to get prizes. Now, before I tell you how I did, let me just preface everything with the fact that I need you guys to know I am a casual Lorcana player. I'm a casual TCG player. I am not massively hyper-competitive. If you have watched any of our gameplay videos here on YouTube, I'm competitive in the sense of I'd like to win, but I'm not hyper competitive in the sense that I want to get a meta deck or that kind of stuff, right? The other thing is I have very little tournament experience at all. In my entire life, I've only entered 2 tournaments. The one I went to yesterday and one that I went to pre-pandemic. So we're talking 2019. For the old Transformers TCG, which I still maintain is one of the most fun games I have ever played, and if anybody out there wants to see content on that, let us know, we will make it. Anyway, so yes, I don't have much experience in tournament play and that kind of stuff, and I've never really built a tournament deck before. I've built fun little decks, I play against Daddy Louie all the time. We make fun decks that we enjoy making and play with concepts and ideas and deck builds that we think are fun, but neither of us are really competitive in that kind of way. So, the smart people among you will understand why I'm saying this. I played all 4 games. In those rounds, I played 8 games in total, 8 individual games of Lorcana, and I lost every single one. I went 0 for 2 in all 4 of my games. It was not great. So I'm going to break down for you guys really quick what happened in those rounds, just a quick little overview, and then we'll talk about my deck, and we'll talk about those cards. So round 1 and round 3, or I shouldn't say round, game 1 and game 3, I went against very similar decks. I'm pretty sure they're the same deck. And I'm going to throw the deck list up on the screen here. So as you can see, this is a Steel Emerald deck. And it basically focuses on card removal for your opponent. And it runs a lot of cheap units that help you to do that. So for example, Cursed Merfolk. It's a 0/1 cost, it's uninkable, but it's a turn 1 play. It quests for 2 and has the ability Poor Souls. So whenever this character is challenged, each opponent chooses and discards a card. So even though it's super easy to take out, it will cost you a card to do it. And when the whole deck works like that, and you are losing cards every single turn, this is a nightmare. Then you've got things like Flynn Rider, who's a 2 cost, also quests for 2, and has the ability, here comes the smolder. Whenever this character is challenged, the challenging player chooses and discards a card. And then you couple him up with like Prince John, who is a 3-cost uninkable. However, he has ward. So when I wanted to dragonfire this guy off the board, I couldn't because ward stops me from doing that. And he has the ability, I sentence you. So whenever your opponent discards 1 or more cards, you may draw a card for each card discarded. I mean, now you're denying your opponent cards and you're drawing extra cards yourself. And you've also got Ursula Deceiver, who is again a cheap 2-cost inkable card, 1/3 quest for 1, but has the ability, you'll never even miss it. When you play this character, chosen opponent reveals their hand and discards a song card of your choice. Now, I only had 1 song in my entire deck, so that didn't really bother me so much because sometimes I would reveal my hand and be like, hey, no songs, no discard. However, that is not the worst thing about this card, because even if I didn't have songs in my hand, I still had to reveal my hand. And smart players, when you see somebody else's hand, it is very much a case of, hey, put your hand on the table, give me a couple of minutes to look at everything you've got, and I can work out how to counter it based on what I have. The other card that was really irritating was Friar Tuck. Now, he would come out at a 4-cost. He's a 2/4, again, quest for 2, and has the ability, you thieving scoundrel. When you play this character, the player or players with the most cards in their hand chooses and discards a card. And even if your opponent has less cards than you, you can still play this because he's got a willpower of 4 and quests for 2. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I really super struggled against this deck because really there was nothing much I could do. I mean, I was steamrolled in both games. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't even close. Now, by the time I got to game 3 and I played the other guy who had this deck, I mean, I kind of knew what was coming. So I was kind of able to play around it a bit better. So it was very much a case of play as much as you can to the board as quickly as possible because he's going to get rid of your hand, right? And I did a bit better against the second guy, but only because I played the first guy. So my second round opponent played Amber Steel. It was a very different type of game. Both games we played actually were very different from each other in terms of sort of tempo and what we played and the things that we did. So the first game we played, he brought out a lot of little 2-questy things. So I think he brought out like the Lilo, making a wish, the 1/1 quest for 2. He also played Stitch, New Dog, which is also a 1-cost inkable card, 2/2 quest for 1. Which he then shifted into Rockstar Stitch, who's a 3/5 and quest for 3, has the ability Adoring Fans. So whenever you play a character with a cost of 2 or less, you may exert them to draw a card. So he was doing a lot of card draw as well, and I really struggled to get rid of his cards because he also played the Prince, who is a 3-cost inkable character, has 1/3, quest for 2, has bodyguard, and has resist 1. So even though he has a willpower of 3, his willpower is basically 4. And again, I struggled to get things on the board quick enough to be able to take out his little things before he played his Prince. And once he played his Prince, I really struggled. The way I got around him eventually is I think I Dragonfired the Prince. But by the time I got 5 ink on the table to Dragonfire him, he was well away. Rockstar Stitch was out. He was questing the other and everywhere. It was a bit insane. Our second game didn't consist of any of those things. The second game, I decided to take a different tactic and not play that many characters at all, but focus more on the locations in my deck. And he also did not play a lot of the cards he played in the first round. He went straight up pirates on me. So he played Captain Hook, that has Challenger 2. He also played a Mr. Smee, the 2-cost inkable card, 3/3 quest for 2, and has the ability, oh dear, dear, dear. At the end of your turn, if this character is exerted and you don't have a captain in play, deal 1 damage to this character. Now, looking back, I recognise that in that game, I made 2 very big mistakes. And thinking about it, there is a possibility that had I not made those mistakes, I could have maybe won that game and taken us into a round 3. Worst case scenario, I would have got one extra game under my belt, and I'd have walked away with at least one win. And best case scenario, I could have won that second game and ranked up higher than I actually did. Alas, that did not happen. But the two big mistakes that I did make was, firstly, I let him run away with his board a little. So he wasn't playing many characters. For a long time, all he had on his board was Smee and Captain Hook. I was very much focused on playing locations. I had mulliganed to try and do that. So I was just trying to get locations out and inking all my characters. What I should have done, which I did do later in the game, but I didn't do soon enough, because Smee quests for 4, and as long as Hook is on the board, he doesn't take any damage, and obviously we know that locations don't deal damage. So I was making a bit of lore with Motunui, he was making 2 every turn with Smee. I really should have played a character, taken out Hook, because at least that would have stopped him either questing or attacking, because he would have taken 1 damage. And he only has a willpower of 3, right? So it could have slowed his board down a little. I didn't do it. That was my first mistake. My second big mistake was I had 4 ink on the table. I had Motunui on the board. I had a Simba Scrappy Cub, which is a 1/1 quest for 3, in my hand. So what I chose to do was I spent 2, I played Simba, then I spent 1 to move him to Motunui. Now, also in my hand, I had a Vault Door, which is a 4-cost item card that has the ability Sealed Away. So your locations and characters at locations gain Resist 1. What I should have done was spent 4, played Vault Door, given Motunui Resist 1, and then the turn after played Simba, moved it to Motunui. Because what ended up happening was he played, I can't remember what he played something that did like a damage to a character, and he took out Simba before I could quest with him. Now, Simba was at Motunui, so it got turned into ink, which is great because that Simba's uninkable. However, I did not get that 3 lore, and I really needed that 3 lore. So those are the big mistakes I made in round 2. But overall, great games, great player. I had a blast. Now, round 4 was the closest I came to winning the entire time. Round 4 was one of those really frustrating games where it literally came down to the last turn 2 times. And it was, oh my days. Guys, when I tell you what happened, So the first game we played, she was playing a Ruby Amethyst deck. So she was playing kind of aggro and card draw. And for the most part, to be honest with you, I let her do it. Because it didn't really bother me. The fact that she was drawing lots and lots of cards wasn't really a big problem in the first game. She had Queen's Castle, which is a great, great card. So whenever you have a character there at the start of your turn, you draw a card for every character. That's this. You draw for turn, and then if you have 3 cards there, you draw another 3 cards. It's an amazing card. Love it lots. So while she was doing that, I had managed to get 2 Pongo and 2 Minnie Mouse Surfer on the board. Obviously, I'm playing evasive. There's 8 lore on the board, and I had 12 lore in the bank. All I had to do was get to the next turn, quest with everything, and I would have won the game. And the turn before my turn, she played Be Prepared. Yep. So, if you don't know, Be Prepared does this. All my characters gone. All I had in my hand was Teeth and Ambition. I drew a Teeth and Ambition. All her characters were gone as well, but she had a Queen's Castle on the board, and because of that, she got 2 lore and won the game. It was super, super close, and if it hadn't been for that very timely Be Prepared, I would have won that game. So the next game we started playing, and I went all locations. because I knew that she had to be prepared in her deck, or at least one. So I decided I was going to go a bit light on characters this time and just go all in on locations. I managed to do that, had Vault Doors, I was doing really, really well. And then she played Maui, which has Rush, and also has Reckless. So basically, it can't quest, but it's going to hit you the turn it comes out, and if it can attack, it will attack. And it has a strength of 6. So even though I had a Vault Door on the board, which reduced his attack to 5, she was still doing significant damage to all of my locations because she wasn't going to quest with him. And then she played a Lady Tremaine, who is a 6 cost, shifts for 4, 3/4, quest for 2, and has the ability Power to Rule at Last. When you play this character, each opponent chooses and banishes one of their characters. Now, as I said, in this game, I was focusing mostly on locations, so I didn't have a lot of characters on the board. And after that, I had one less. And I think, if I remember correctly, it was the only character I had on the board at the time. I did have a Dragonfire in my hand, and again, another mistake that I made. I chose to Dragonfire Maui, because I wanted to keep my locations on the board. What I should have done was Dragonfired Lady Tremaine, because she was questing for 2. And even though Maui was going to do significant damage to my locations, I had 2 McDuck manas on the board. He would have done 5 damage to each. It would have taken 2 turns to take 1 out, 4 turns to take both out. I should have Dragonfired Lady Tremaine, because it was Lady Tremaine that got the win for her and took me out. But it is what it is. So at the end of the day, I lost all 8 games that I played, right? Now, that sucks. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to win at least one. I didn't. But at the same time, I had a great time. I had a blast yesterday. Like, I got to play against people that I've never really met before. I got to play games against decks that I never thought were decks. I did not check the meta before I went. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe that's a mistake I made. Maybe next time, if I go to another set championship tournament, maybe I should check the meta and have a look and see what's going on. But one piece of advice that my friend gave me when I was talking to him and I was like, I've got to build this deck for a tournament and I don't really know what to put in it and blah, 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 blah. His advice to me was build a deck that, one, you think you could win with, but make sure that you make it fun for you. Because if you lose, you're still going to have fun. But if you take a deck just to win and you still lose, that's going to make you miserable because all you wanted to do was win, right? And I think that's 100% true. So if you were thinking about going to a set championship, I don't know if they're running for much longer, but if you were going in the next couple of days, then build a deck for you. Like, if you were going and you're just going to try and win and you don't win, you're going to have a miserable day. And some of you are going to take meta decks and take other decks that people have made online that are winning store championships, and you're going to go and you're going to win, and it's going to be grand, fantastic, good for you. But if you are going, if you're a player like me, and you don't have much experience, and you don't really build decks to be competitive, and you don't really go to this kind of stuff a lot, make sure it's fun for you. Build a deck that's fun for you. That's my advice, okay? But I had a blast. It was a great time, and I would go again. I would definitely go again. So here it is, guys. Here is the deck that I took to set championships. It is a Ruby Sapphire deck. Let's take a look at the character cards first. As you can see, the majority of the characters have my favourite keyword, evasive. If you've watched any of our Lorcana videos, you will know that I absolutely love evasive cards. So let's take a look at Pongo, who is my favourite of all the evasive cards in Ruby. He is from set 1, he is a 4-cost inkable, 2/3, quest for 2, and has evasive. Love him. Then we have Moana from Into the Inklands, 4-cost again, inkable, 3/4, quest for 1, has evasive. We have Minnie Mouse, stylish surfer, 3-cost, 1/3, quest for 2 is evasive. We have Fidget, Again, 3 cost Inkable 2/3 has evasive quest for 1. And then we have this Aerial Adventurous Collector from Inklands, 3 cost Inkable 2/3 quest for 1, also evasive, also has Inspiring Voice. Whenever you play a song, chosen character of yours gains evasive until the start of your next turn. Now, I only have one song in this entire deck, and that is I Have a Dream. I Have a Dream is a 2 cost Inkable and has the ability ready chosen character of yours at a location. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. Gain lore equal to that location's lore. It's a very cool card, but it's the only song I have in my deck, and Aerial and I Have a Dream never really came out in my hand at the same time, so I didn't get to use that combination. However, there are only 2 characters in my entire deck that aren't evasive, and one of them was very disposable, and the other one was there to do something very, very different. So it didn't really bother me that I didn't get to use that combination. The main reason I took Aerial was because she was a low cost and has evasive. So let's take a look at those other 2 characters. So here we have a Simba, like I mentioned before. He's a 2 cost uninkable, 1/1, but quests for 3. Now, Simba was there for one reason and one reason only: to quest for 3. I was fully expecting him to disappear the moment he quests. And that's all he was there to do. Play him out nice and cheap, quest for 3, get that lore on the board, and run with it. And I had 4 of those in my deck. So potentially for an entire game, if I drew all 4, we're talking 12 lore. That's nothing to be scoffed at. The other character is this Moana Born Leader from set 3. So she is a 5 cost Inkable 4/4 quest for 2, shifts for 3, and has Welcome to My Boat. Whenever this character quests at a location, ready all other characters here. They can't quest for the rest of the turn. In a perfect storm of a game, in a game that works the way I want it to work, what's going to happen is I'm going to have that Moana at a location with a bunch of evasive characters. I've also got Vault Doors on the field, so she's going to be gaining like Resist 1, maybe Resist 2, depending on how well we're doing. Everybody on the board is going to quest. My Pongos, my Minis, my Aerials, my Fidgets, they're all going to quest. I'm going to get a bunch of lore. Then she's going to quest. And then all my other characters at that location are all going to ready. Now, they can't quest. However, they can challenge. Then you throw in things like I've Got a Dream, where I can then ready a character, it can't quest, but I still get the amount of lore that's on that location. So I could quest with Pongo at a Macduck Manor, gain 2 lore. Play I've Got a Dream, ready Pongo, gain 2 lore, challenge. If Moana's there, then I can quest with Moana, gain 2, Pongo readies, challenge again. Pongo might go away, but that's 2 challenges and 4 lore in 1 turn. And then we have a whole bunch of locations. So we've got Motunui, which is a 2 cost Inkable, move cost of 1, willpower of 5, and has the ability Reincarnation. So whenever a character is banished while here, you may put that card into your Inkwell face down and exert it. Then we had things like Agrabah and Macduck Manor. Now Agrabah is a 3 cost willpower of 5, gains 2 lore a turn, no special ability, and Macduck Manor is a 4 cost Inkable, again gains you 2 lore, willpower of 9, and has a move cost of 1. Now Macduck Manor is a scary thing, because it gets you 2 lore a turn, and has a willpower of 9. There are some cards that could take out Motunui and Agrabah with a willpower of 5 in 1 turn. There are some cards that could do that, or a combination of cards, because, as we know, you don't take damage when you take on a location, because they don't do damage. However, Macduck Manor, that's a bigger problem for people on the board, especially when I'm running 4 copies of Vault Door. So Vault Door is a 4 cost Inkable card that has Sealed Away. Your locations and characters at locations gain Resist 1. So picture it, if you will. There's a Macduck Manor on the board with Resist 1. It now has a willpower of 10. Or maybe I've got 2 Vault Doors. It's got a willpower of 11. Maybe I've got 2 on the board. Maybe I've got 3 on the board. At one point during one of the rounds, I had 2 Macduck Manors and a Motunui on the board, and 1 vault door. That is 5 lower turn, and each of them are willpower 10, and Motunui willpower 6. Now, I also had some item cards and action cards as well. You've already seen Vault Door, and I Have a Dream. But I also took Teeth and Ambition, which is a 2-cost inkable card, and the ability is you deal 2 damage to a chosen character of yours to deal 2 damage to another chosen character. The other card that I took was Dragonfire. So it's a 5-cost uninkable, but you banish a chosen character. Now, Dragonfire was the most expensive card in the deck, and I say it was the most expensive because even though the other Moana is a 5-cost, she was inkable. And I would say the uninkable cards are more expensive because there's less that you can do with them. So, guys, that was the deck that I took to set championships. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of that deck. Is it a good deck? Is it a bad deck? Do you see the mechanics working there? Do you think it's too clunky? What are your opinions on it? Now, I'm gonna say I had tons of fun with this deck. It didn't always work the way I wanted it to. Maybe that was down to user error, maybe that was just down to card draw, maybe that was down to my opponent and their experience and just what they were getting and playing as well. I don't know. All I know is I had a blast playing this deck. I had a blast all day yesterday. It was phantasmic. Now, another bonus of going yesterday was even though you had to pay to go to tournament, I also got all of these packs of Floodbone that I'm going to open right now. So let's head down to the table and crack these open. Okay, so welcome to the table, guys. We've got our 8 packs right here. Now, the glare in my office is very, very bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and open these kind of off to the side. And then I'll stick an image like here somewhere of the actual card just in case the glare gets it. But you don't have to worry about that right now because apparently I can't even open the cards. There we go. Oh my days. No, I'm not even in. Oh, this is going about as well as my tournament yesterday. Right, so there's the plastic off there. The pack itself is still closed. There we go. We're in. Right, this better have an enchanted because oh my days, that was insane. So here we go. We've got Rabbit, Piglet, Merlin Squirrel Mode. We've got Buon, Arthur, nice, Hercules, into our uncommons, Pain, the Caterpillar, Last Stand, Tuk Tuk. It's our first Ray. Our next Ray is, ooh, Goofy, Night for a Day. I like this card a lot. And our last card is, oh, it's a common, Hypnotize. Again, a card I came across a lot yesterday. And look, it's one of these mouse pieces again. I miss these puzzle pieces so much. I really like those. I hope that with set 4, they bring those back. And if they do, I reckon it should be Ursula. That is my call. I really hope they bring it back. I hope it's not these location things. Wow! What is going on with these packs? That is insane. That's just like breaking off like no one's business. Alright. Let's get rid of that. And let's have a look. Oh, Basil. I like Basil. One of my favourite Disney movies. Hold Still. Elsa. Tiger. It's Tigger. Oh, Hypnotize, the regular version. Benja. Uncommon Queen of Hearts. The Prince. Great card. Came across him yesterday. Oh, Binding Contract. What does this do? Tap. Tap one of your characters. Exert chosen character. Huh. Okay. That feels a bit expensive, but let's have a look. We've got a Ray. Ooh, Sorcerer's Spellbook. Now, the girl I played in the last game had one of these. It was very irritating because I didn't have anything to get rid of it. And, yeah. Alright. Second card. Ooh, it's a super rare. Tiana. Resist 2, quest for 2, 1/4. While this character is exerted and you have no cards in hand, opponents can't play actions. And here we go. Our last card is an uncommon foil. Singing Gaston. No one sings like Gaston. La 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 la. That's all I got. Alright, pack 3 of 8. Oh, and it's opened nice and normally. Sort of. Here we go. Alright, let's get rid of that. Let's turn it over. We have Owl. Where's my hands on the camera? There we go. We got Owl. Oops, Sneezy. Fairy Godmother. Lady Tremaine. Not the one I saw yesterday. Gaston. Beast. Forbidden Recluse. Minnie Mouse. She was in my deck. Love her so much. Lawrence. And still uncommon. Bucky. And this should be our first rare slot. Sleepy's Flute. Our second one is... Oh! It's a super rare. Oh, Grandpabby. I don't know if I have one of these. 7 cost, uninkable, 3/6, quest for 3. Whenever you remove 1 or more damage from one of your characters, gain 2 lore. Ooh, that's quite nice. And our last card is a common, the Knock. Alright. Just realised I've stopped looking at the puzzle pieces, which is really silly because I was just like, I miss puzzle pieces. And now I'm not even looking at them. What have you done to me, Inklands? You've ruined my puzzle piece excitement. Really hoping you can hear me over the weird packaging. Okay, here we go. Popsicle. Popsicle. Painting the roses red. Dr. Facilier. Nice evasive character. I like him a lot. Minnie Mouse zipping around. Panic. We've got another Forbidding Recluse Beast. A sardine can. Oh, Rapunzel. Like her. Madam Mim. And we should be into our rare slot. Here we go. Merlin Rabbit mode. Our next one should be a rare or better. It's a rare Mulan. Okay. And what's our last one? It's a common foil Cinderella. Now, I really like this card. It's a 2/2, quest for 1, has the ability Have Courage. When you play this character, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. Now, the only other tournament that I ever went to was a sealed draft tournament, and I got this as a promo card, which is very, very cool. So, when I said earlier on I've only been to 2 tournaments in my life, it's because I totally forgot that I also went to the Floodborne draft one. So, yeah. Turns out I've been to 3, but only 2 constructed. Oh, actually, that's a lie. The Transformers one I went to was not constructed. Puzzle piece. Yay, flipper. It was actually draft as well. So this is my very first constructed deck tournament. Okay, enough of that. Nothing to hide. Grumpy. I'm stuck. Go the distance. Ratagun. Love this card. It's evasive. Donald Duck. The most diabolical scheme. Jafar. I love Jafar. Our last uncommon. Oh, it's Belle. It's what I like to call Bathroom Belle because she looks like she's sitting on a toilet. But she's a 2/4 quest for 1. While an opponent has no cards in their hand, this character gets +2 lore. If you can make this work, it's amazing. Alright. Our rare slot. Our first card is... Ooh, Gaston. And our next one is going to be... Oh, it's a legendary! We've got a legendary! Alright, here we go. It's... Beast. 4/5, quest for 2. Whenever opposing character is damaged, you may ready this character. Oh, that's so good. And our last card. Oh, it's a foil rare. It's a foil rare Tuk Tuk. It's 4/5 and has Reckless, which means this character can't quest and must challenge each turn if able. I'm probably not going to use it ever, but it's still very shiny and very cool. Alright, 3 packs left. Here we go. I can't do math that quick in my head, so I don't know what pack that makes it going the other way. But we have 3 packs left, so yeah. Alright, we have Basil of Baker Street. I don't know if you guys can see that, sorry. Snow White. Winnie the Pooh. Oh, matches my mat. Look at that, Honey Wizard. Felicia. Queen of Hearts. Tiana. We have Fairy Godmother. Zero to Hero. Our last uncommon then is a Nick Wilde. We've got a rare. Oh, Teeth and Ambition. Look at that. One of my cards in my deck. I think I bought that card in as well. So our next one is another rare. Oh, the Huntsman. So whenever this character quest, you may draw a card and then choose and discard a card. 1/1 quest for 2. And our last card is an uncommon foil, Cogsworth Talking Clock. Alright. Here we go. Do you know what? I'm going to take Queen of Hearts first, because Raya's my favourite character from this set. So, I love Raya and the Last Dragon. I think it's amazing. My favourite enchanted from this set is Sisu. I really want an enchanted Sisu. If anyone has one they want to give away, I would gladly accept it. Okay, Jasmine, Happy, Jiminy Cricket. We've got Mulan, another one of my favourites. Donald Duck, Magic Broom. I'm quite interested actually to make a Magic Broom deck. And I know that the next set 4, Ursula's Return, has like a flying broom, which might have evasive, which may be the thing that tips me over the edge. But also there's another Mickey coming that allows you to do stuff with magic brooms as well. We've got the regular Cogsworth that we had the shiny of. We've got a regular Gaston. And we have our last uncommon Pinocchio. We've got a Ray, World's Greatest Criminal Mind. Banished chosen character with 5 power or more. That's quite nice. 5 strength. And next one is a Ray. Oh, Winnie the Pooh. Nice. I've got 2 of these. I'm glad I've got another one. It's a great card. So whenever this character quest, you may put a card from your hand into your inkwell face down. Not exerted, I might add. It stays up. It's ready to go. Oh, we've got a super rare foil Cogsworth Grandfather Clock to go with our foil Cogsworth young clock. There we go. Alright. And we've got a torch from Minnie Mouse. Okay, here we go. This is it. Last pack magic. So I need you to do your best Goku impression. I need all your enchanted power. Here we go. Last pack magic. Enchanted Sisu with Raya on the front. Eyo. Come on. Wow, why are all these cards doing that? That is so bizarre. I have never, ever experienced that before. That is random. Right, let's get rid of that rubbish. Let's take a look at this. It is a flipper. Flipper dipper. Alright, here we go. See if we can get this in camera so you guys can see. Again, images should pop up there somewhere. If I can work my camera. Alright, James, Eudora, Croquet Mallet, Fidget, Flynn Rider, not the one from yesterday's, Prince Naveen, You Can Fly, You Can Fly, You Can Fly, Pick a Fight, Wreck-It Ralph, Daisy Duck, my wife's favourite Disney character, who's also coming to Dreamlight Valley, and she's very excited for that. Our first Ray is Ratigan's Marvelous Trap. Our next is a Super Ray. Oh, Dr. Facilier. Nice. He is evasive, so you know I already love it. It's 4/4 quest for 3. You're in my world. Whenever this character quest, chosen opposing character can't quest during the next turn. So it's kind of like a Mother Gothel, only with evasive. That is so cool. Oh, you all know I'm playing this card. Okay. Let's have a look. Last card magic. It's got to be enchanted. Come on. Give me that enchanted symbol. Ah, it's a common. Ah, boo. Alright, it is a common. Oh, Minnie Mouse. There we go. Zipping around on her foil scooter. So, guys, that'll be it for this video. I think that was a great couple of packs. We got 4 Super Rays and a Legendary from 8 packs. I think that's pretty good going. So we got, just as a reminder, Grandfather Clock Cogsworth, who's also foil. That's super cool. We got Dr. Facilier, which I think of all of them is my favourite card. We got the Grandpappy, the Grandpappy of them all. We got him too. We got Tiana, and we got this legendary beast. I'm also going to give an honourable mention to this Winnie the Pooh, because I think this is a fantastic card. Again, a legendary 4 Super Rays, amazing pulls from 8 packs. Guys, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of those pulls? Were there anything else in those packs that you thought were amazing? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know, have you been to set championships? Do you want to go? Have you been? Did you win? What deck did you take? Let me know all the stuffs in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of my deck. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know anything you want to know, as long as it's appropriate. And guys, that's all from me today. So I have been the Atomic Ninja G. You guys, as always, have been awesome. And this has been my experience of set championships.